You keep telling yourself you miss them, but if they walked back into your life right now, it wouldn't feel the same. Not because they changed, because you did. And that's the part you don't know how to deal with. You think it's about them, their voice, their presence, the way things felt. But something about that feeling doesn't match reality anymore. And deep down, you've already noticed it. You just haven't said it out loud yet. You're still replaying it. The same conversations, the same moments, over and over. Late at night, when everything is quiet, you go back to places you already left. You check things you told yourself you wouldn't check again. Photos, messages, songs that shouldn't mean anything anymore, but still do. You open your phone, not because you expect something new, but because a part of you still hopes something might be there, even when you know it won't be. You imagine conversations that never happen, things you wish you said, things you wish they understood, things you replay just to feel like you're still connected, even for a second. And sometimes it's not even about them anymore. It's about how everything felt back then, how easy things seemed, how certain you felt, how different you were. And you keep asking yourself the same question: why can't I just move on? You already know it ended for a reason. You've explained it to yourself too many times, and still something keeps pulling you back. But that pull isn't what you think it is. It doesn't even feel like you're missing them anymore. It feels like you're missing something else, something harder to name. When you think about that relationship, what do you actually see? Not just them. Look closer. You see a version of yourself that doesn't exist anymore. Someone who felt different, more open, more certain, more alive. You were more present, less in your head, less divided. You had a place, a role, a version of yourself that made sense. And now, that version is gone, and you don't know where to stand without it. Your mind isn't just remembering a person. It's trying to return to a version of you, the way you thought, the way you felt, the way your life had shape. That version of you felt stable, real. And when the relationship ended, it didn't just take them. It took that version of you with it. That's what keeps coming back. Not the person, the feeling of being that person. And this is where it turns into something else, a loop you don't even notice you're in. You miss them, so you replay the memories. The memories let you feel like that version of yourself again, even if it's just for a moment. And that moment feels right, familiar, safe. So you go back again, and again, and again. You tell yourself it's the last time, but it never is, because the moment fades, and you're back where you are now, and where you are now doesn't feel like you. So your mind reaches back again, trying to reconnect with something it remembers but doesn't know how to rebuild. Not because you're weak, not because you're broken, but because your mind found a way to revisit something it doesn't know how to recreate. You say you want them back, but that's not entirely true. You want to feel like yourself again. And right now, that feels like the only way. But it isn't. Because even if they came back, you wouldn't be the same person anymore. And that feeling you're chasing doesn't live inside them. It never did. You've been pointing your grief at them, but that's not where it actually belongs. It belongs to something much quieter, something harder to face. You're not just missing a person, you're missing yourself. The version of you that felt whole, that felt certain, that felt like life made sense. And the uncomfortable part is, you can't go back to that version. Not the way you want to. Not exactly how it was. Because that version of you existed in a specific moment, with a specific person, in a life that no longer exists. But what you felt back then was never something they created. It was something you accessed through them. And maybe that's the real question. Not whether you'll find someone like them again, but whether you can become that version of yourself without needing someone else to bring it out of you. Maybe you were never missing them. Maybe you were just missing yourself.